Hey guys, this is Cam315, and man, whew, the, I swear this was one of my most highly anticipated chapters of reading the My Hero Academia manga. You know, it is freaking crazy. I wish I had enough subscribers to do like a live reaction to the chapter, but I can't. The only way I can do that is if I make a video of myself. You like, you know, um, reacting to the chapter, and then I just upload it to YouTube and say like, me reacting my reaction to My Academia chapter, stuff like that. And man, this chapter was good. This chapter is definitely foreshadowing maybe another future character death, if not two character deaths. And two, this chapter also foreshadowed, what really All for One might be doing with Shigaraki. And man, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. So we're here in My Hero Academia chapter 277. That's what the title is. Now, we start off the chapter panel like hot. It's Deku and freaking Shigaraki legit headbutting each other. You know, I saw this when I opened it. I was like, oh, we're getting straight to it. Let's go. So Deku, he kind of just, he's just thinking about, what Gran Torino said. I'm talking about the worst case scenario. And Deku kind of just deducts, like, well, the worst case scenario is if we lose freaking Aizawa. Because if we lose Aizawa, we're done. We're all dead. He wins regardless. And even Deku says, look, we can't lose him. And stuff like that. And, you know, that it's interesting how Aizawa is just as big in this whole thing as essentially One for All. One for All can't be taken, and definitely Aizawa with his quirk cannot, either he can't blink or slash he can't die. Otherwise, they're done. Because even Aizawa makes a comment like, yeah, if I blink even once, it's over. We're done. Because Shigaraki will just turn on his quirk within the snap of my finger, and then it's over. Stuff like that. So yeah. So Bakugo actually comes in. He's like, look, let's do this thing and let's do it rationally. So obviously, reluctantly, and he knows, and Bakugo knows, he's going to work with Deku on this one. So we're getting a little bit of My Hero Academia Heroes Rising in in the manga here. So he does an AP machine gun attack, and that has still no effect on Shigaraki. Point blank. Point blank. No attack. No effect. No nothing. Shigaraki just comes out of it, and he even says a comment in the freaking manga panel saying, cute fireworks show there. Look, we've had our OP characters before. We've had our OP characters in any sort of anime. Gildarts was pretty OP for a time in Fairy Tail. I guess Zeref was somewhat OP. I only say somewhat because of plot relevance beat him. Who else? Beerus still to this day you can say is an OP character because we don't know his true strength really in any of the gods of destruction in the Dragon Ball universe. This dude is just OP. And now people are realizing and seeing because there's a lot of people who in the past were over criticizing Deku and the fact that he's just getting too OP. Oh, he's getting too OP, especially when they revealed he's gonna have like more quarters coming his way. Oh, Deku's just getting so OP. Now we know why he's getting all those quirks. Well, now we know why he's gonna be Deku's gonna be legit, honest to goodness, like god tier in terms of OP, in terms of how OP he's going to be. He's going to be put on a different level than All Might, and he's going to be put on a different pedestal than everybody else. There'll be nobody that can touch him after he obviously gets done with Shigaraki. Now, I definitely think him and Shigaraki are going to have a final one-on-one battle much later, like in 2 or 3 arcs later. Especially if we get a time skip. But I'm just saying, this is why Deku, his quirk, he needs to start learning this, one for all better, and learning the other people's quirks so he can become OP, just as OP as freaking Shigaraki. And so, anyways, it cuts back. But not Bakugo. Deku actually uses his Black Whip quirk to kind of stop and try to like hold Shigaraki in place, but that has no effect, dude. Shigarachi's too strong. And even Shigaraki makes a mention to Bakugo's like, look, I don't need you anymore. What happened way back then, when we tried to recruit you and stuff like that, I don't need to you. I don't need you anymore. You're not on my radar. I'm here for your friend here. And then that's all of a sudden, my guy Endeavor gets in the thing. So Endeavor's still fighting to this. He is still fighting. He is still fighting. Now Endeavor actually tells Deku and Bakugo where is Shoto, which I said when I started the video off, we could be getting a hint of a possible character death. I know some people don't want to see Endeavor die because of the character development he's been getting, but he could be dying soon because he just asked where his son is at. This also could also, I guess you can also refute my point in saying, well, that can't be some kind of, premonition or some kind of hint that he could be dying because he's asking about his son. This could be a hint where Todoroki might actually just come to the battlefield. Personally, if you ask me, I could see that because, let's be real, we haven't seen Todoroki absolutely do nothing. The only thing we seen Todoroki do in this entire arc was essentially, try to throw up a wave of ice to stop Shigarachi's decay wave. And that had nothing. And other than that, Todoroki has done literally next to nothing in this war arc. Like, there's been, like, Kaminari, who's not really a relevant character. He's just here and there in the story, but who's not really a relevant character, gets more shine in this arc than Todoroki. So Todoroki could show up, especially with the fact that the League of Villains is on their way to see where they're at the end of the manga chapter. So who knows? Todoroki might show up. I don't think he's going to show up. I think what's going to happen is, like I said, it seems like the only way what it seems like for me is this. I don't know what they're gonna do with the Aizawa thing. He could die. He could die, or he could get his quirk taken away from him, or whatever. But if Endeavor dies, I think if Endeavor dies, then obviously that when they're retreating, Todoroki's gonna ask, "Where's my dad?" And he's probably going to. They're probably gonna say, your dad's dead. I'm sorry. Now I could definitely see Endeavor sacrificing his life, like what Vegeta did at the Majin Buu saga. His final atonement. Endeavor could do something similar to that. We'll just see as the weeks go on in terms of the manga chapters and stuff like that. So, anyways, Endeavor, he kind of just deducts. Well, it's like at this point, his point is just as powerful and sturdy as All Might. So, so this guy is just as, and even Gran Torino's like, this dude ain't even, the dude's not even, human. He's a superhuman, essentially, and it's like, well, great. We're dealing with something that is, we're just dealing with something that's just too much right now. Just too much. Aizawa, like I said earlier, he goes on to mention, as long as he doesn't blink, that's really all he's got. That's all he's got is just his sturdiness and the power of the physical strength of his body. And he even mentions like he'll be able to hold on for a good time, a good long time, which is good. So obviously, crap, I forgot the water hero's name again. The dude's obviously doing his job right. Endeavor goes on to say, now, since you're, whatever, the reason you're here for, listen, you're on your own now. Make sure you do what you need to do to stop this guy. So essentially, Endeavor saying, listen, now now that you're here now you're heroes. So you guys need to put the training you've done up to this point. Now you need to freaking show you need to become, the heroes you need to become and stuff like that. Now, my God, Shigaraki, he looks crazy in some of these shots. He's charging ahead, and Shigaraki, he's just saying, well, if I just scoop up Midoriya and take him away, it's over. I can steal his quirk. I win, and stuff like that. Things like that. You know, Now, Endeavor goes on to say, Deku, you protect Aizawa, and Bakugo, you essentially cover Deku, or essentially saying you need to have his back. So if he gets into something, you need to be there to back him up. Then all of a sudden, this is where we get one of the most interesting scenes in this freaking manga chapter. All of a sudden, this dark bubble in the manga chapter shows up and says, "Acquire one for all, one for all. You will be mine, little brother." When I was reading this, I was like, "That's one for all talking directly through Shigaraki, isn't it?" Next few chapters, we find out that it is technically, still inner monologue with himself. Shigarachi's dodging Hell Spider from Endeavor, and Shigarachi kind of just deducts like, "Old man, get out of my frickin' head, man. You lost to one man, which was all for one, and you're trying to tell me to do my job? No, 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 no. I looked up to you, and I appreciate everything you did for me, like looking after me and everything. But listen, I ain't here to be like you. I'm here to be greater than you." And I was like, my goodness. Now, this is one of my things. All for One has been alive for nearly decades. Decades in the My Hero Academia timeline. Decades. When I saw this, I'm 100% convinced that when All for One gave Shigaraki the original quirk of All for One, there is a possible chance he can go in, and it's almost like a Venom type of thing, some type of symbiote state, like in Venom from Spider-Man, from the Spider-Man comics. It's like, the consciousness of, or the vestiges, people would probably say, of All for One is within Shigarachi's body, and he's like a symbiote that will eventually take over his body and have Shigarachi's body as his own. Essentially, doing a body swapping thing, or essentially what, in a better way, what Emperor Palpatine tried to do to Rey in Rise of Skywalker. As much as I was on the movie, that's kind of what it looked like this dude was doing. And Shigaraki, he was like, you ain't having my body for your pleasures. And it looks like All for One I think All for One's main plan was, okay, give Shigaraki the one for all power. You know, have Dr. Ujiko, boost him up with everything he needs to do so he can get strong as possibly be. And then guess what? I can go in then as a vestige, take over Shigarachi's body as my own, and now I have a much more powerful body than my old body, which is crazy because it's kind of a, how might I say, kind of a dark twist of how the power of All for One gets, I guess you could say, passed down. It's just, oh, you have my power, but guess what? I'm gonna still be within that power, and then guess what? Your body is screwed, and your body is mine. So, now this has more further evidence that if we do get a, Tartarus prison, break, I think now it's gonna be more implied that, especially now after Shigaraki, he even says, like, I only control myself. Shut the hell up, essentially. Now, and like I was saying, it makes me even more convinced, and this is just a prediction, is that if they go to break out, they go to Tartarus and break out some other villains and stuff, I think when Shigaraki sees All for One, he's gonna be like, thank you, old man, for what you've done. Now die. And he's probably gonna kill him. Now people think, oh, he could break him out. I think after this chapter, I think some people can have a theory that instead of breaking all for one out, Shigaraki said he wanted to be greater. So if you want to be greater, why would you have your old master be in your ear? I My prediction is if there's a Tartarus arc where he breaks breaks into Tartarus, he's going to kill All for One, which I guess you could say could kill the internal vestiging within him. Who knows? Of who knows? Well, Gran Torino, he goes in for a kick and has you know, it does no effect. And Gran Torino, he's kind of like, now stop this. Stop trampling over Shimura's memory. And essentially he's talking about his grandmother, Nana Shimura. And what's his face is and Shigarachi's like, who are you talking about? Because, you know, I'm guessing it's implied he didn't know his grandma's hero's name. So yeah, and then plus with the dad always blocking him away from, essentially his grandma from, the hero work. It's crazy and stuff like that. And it cuts back to the one scene where it cuts back to a little flashback scene where obviously it was when when Gran Torino was telling, All Might that look, at this point you can't save Shigaraki. He's already too far gone. He even goes on to say like it's made everyone suffer. Obviously, him with how old he's been, Gran Torino, it sucks for him to see that, a family member of Nana Shimura, um, has went down this dark path where there will be no return and stuff like that. Now, now, what is it? Shigaraki, he jumps up. He kind of, I'm guessing from what the panel looks like, it's like, you know, Gran Torino just gets pushed down and gets hit pretty hard. Endeavor was charging up at him. He looks at Deku. Obviously, he needs Deku. He needs to go after Deku. And then that's when we cut into Bakugo, and he's like, huh, so I'm not on your radar anymore, huh? Well, that's too bad, because he was just the damn bait. And I'm guessing he's using an AP shot, and it creates like a huge explosion and stuff like that. Now, there was this little text about it that said, so what if my strength alone is not enough? The symbol I strove to be, that isn't the path that you should follow. Now, I think I think those two comments I just read was the internal thing within Deku, what he was internally thinking and what he's internally saying. Essentially, it looks like, he's saying like, well, what if my strength isn't, strong enough to defeat Shigaraki? You know, any kind of, and he's talking about like, well, I'm supposed to be the future symbol of peace, um, you know, and I think this is actually the one line when All Might told him, listen, you can't be like me. You have to be a different symbol of peace and do it your own way, essentially. I think that's what that was from too. So yeah. So then Endeavor comes charging in and does this move called Vanishing Fist, which engulfs Shigaraki. So we don't know if Shigaraki is like has severe injuries or something like that. I don't care what anybody says. If I see next chapter, this man gets up from that, not even phased, not even has a like I guess you can say my goodness, not injuries, visible injuries. And you're telling me he took a huge AP shot from Bakugo and this vanishing is point blank? When both those attacks were point blank, and he's looks fine as can be, and he's still that. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna get up out of my chair, and I'm gonna be like, this is insane. This is insane. The heroes are giving the heroes are giving putting everything into each of their attacks, and it's just not phasing him. I will probably drop my phone reading the chapter. I will have to, sit down for a bit and think, be like, how is he tanking these hits? There's no way. There's no way he should be taking hits like this. But then again, Shigarachi's OP. So then I hated this part, but at the same time I loved it too because I hated the part that it cut away from this thing. So yeah, so technically, was it Deku and Bakugo versus Shigaraki? Deku only kind of gets in one shot, and then everyone else gets more shots. So yeah, technically it's not that. So who knows? Now it cuts over to back where the mansion was at, and we get this. I'm guessing over the radio comm saying, "Hang in there. You gotta hold on back." And then next thing you know, we get a huge panel, a those long shot panels where we see Mount Lady holding back Giant Tamakia, and can I just say she's struggling, and she doesn't look like she's going to hold him back anytime soon, because one, Giant Tamakia looks unfazed, like I'm sorry for that. Again, Giant Tamakia looks unfazed of Mount Lady freaking blocking her. He doesn't even care that she's in the way. He looks like, honest to goodness, he's going to trample her. And also, the League of Villains are on John Tamaki's back, going to there and stuff like that. Mount Lady says, "You don't got to tell me twice. He isn't going anywhere." And that's where the chapter ends off. And then the next chapter won't hit till next Sunday, July 12th. I think Mount Lady is going to be the next hero to possibly die, or maybe if you're not gonna go say die, maybe severe injuries. You know, but yeah, I'm just gonna say John Tamakia looks like, and even in the panel, it looks like John Tamakia is running, and it looks like Mount Lady's pushing him back, but she's like being pushed back, like literally slowly, but she is just being pushed back because John Tamaki is just, whew, man. I don't want Mount Lady to die because one, she is one of the hottest characters in My Hero Academia, but two, I think it's also implied that she has like a romantic relationship going on at the moment with Kamuni Woods, who is another. I don't know what hero rank. I forgot what hero rating he was, or in terms of ranking he was at. But yeah, it would suck for her to die. But who knows? Like I said, maybe she can just be trampled and she just gets severe injuries from it. So yeah, but if Giant Tamaki is like, "Get out of my way, I'm getting to my master," it kind of, I don't know, kills her to get to the process. It trust and believe it. So yeah, so right now Mount Lady is the final line of defense before things get way out of hand. And I think she's going to be letting up in maybe by the end of next chapter. That's when she'll have nothing left, and Giant Tomaki will be free to run. And then I think, I'm guessing from where this said, when a few more chapters, maybe by chapter 280 something, that's probably maybe 280 or 280, one or 282. That's when we'll probably get the retreat of the heroes, and maybe some sacrifices for the heroes to escape. Like I said, there's a hero's definitely got to sacrifice himself for them to get to essentially escape. And the fact that I believe it might be Endeavor who might give a Vegeta final atonement type of sacrifice, then yeah. But other than that, things ain't looking good. Things are not looking good, and things are just heating up. But this chapter was good. I like this chapter not as much as I did last week's chapter. If anything, this chapter is still good. It ain't gonna win chapter of the week because I'm sorry. One Piece, chapter 984 is chapter of the week. I don't care what anybody says. With that end revelation for One Piece manga chapter this Sunday, this week, that's chapter of the week. That's chapter of the week. So yeah, it's still a good chapter from My Hero Academia. I personally preferred last week's chapter compared to this chapter, even though we got some pretty huge revelations. But other than that, was still a good chapter, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen for the future of Hero Society, because next week it seems like it's just getting more intense, more intense. So otherwise, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. If you liked the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section what are your thoughts on this chapter, and your predictions going in later on, like I say, every other week. As well as hit that subscribe button to get more My Hero Academia manga chapter review content. So guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday. And stay safe out there. Where are you checking this video out? Day or night. So till then guys, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Peace.